Hi. So we were looking at the real truth about health and hearing Brian Clements talk about raw. And it brought back a lot of memory for me of when I went to Optimum Health in San Diego and ate all raw food for 2 weeks and very small amounts of raw food, how it made me feel like an angel. It just brought my energy level to a very high place. And I looked at in listening to Brian because he's encouraging people to go all raw for the greatest level of health. How much raw we're actually doing and how we could improve it. So we wanted to talk a little bit about raw today and the health benefits that it has for us.
Yeah, so that whole experience you had where you felt like an angel, that's like sounds like an energetic quality,
Yes.
an emotional energetic quality. And that's what Brian was pointing out about how they see the value of raw over cooked food and why it is will nurture us, will give us more nutrition, or maybe not nutrition so much as better health. They they look beyond just the kind of physical components of nutrition, uh, macronutrients, the fat, carbohydrates, and protein, the micronutrients, the antioxidants, the polyphenols, all the different things that nutritional science is showing us is related to our health, and how by switching to a whole food plant-based diet, you probably are going to have much better health as a result of these nutrients. Well, what Brian points out, and that we studied actually back in the day, this is back in the 90s,
Yeah.
when you were at Optimum Health and we were eating raw, that whole philosophy goes beyond just the nutrient load. They look at the energetics and the enzyme levels. So I think we've all experienced the difference between like eating a fresh spinach salad. It's like, ooh, wow, it's kind of enlivening. And I think back to the overboiled spinach my aunt used to feed me when I would go there, and it was like, ugh. There seems to be a different quality in the way my body receives the food, whether it's raw or whether it's cooked, and particularly if it's overcooked. So this is what Brian was pointing out, is that there's an energetic quality that we take in with our food, as well as the physical nutrient load. So he's very big on the value of that energetic coming in. The other thing that raw foodists talk about is raw enzymes. So these are enzymes that don't just kind of digest the macronutrients, help us digest the fats, the oils, the proteins, and that. These are enzymes that are needed to break down different aspects of the fiber and other nutrients to make them more bioavailable. And the theory is that we're born with a lot of live enzymes. We have these things when we come in, and up to the age of about 21, we're still producing a lot of these enzymes in the same way we produce digestive enzymes and that. But after 21, after the age of 21, that starts diminishing quite a bit. So we need to rely on our diet to replenish these raw enzymes. So that's where raw kind of differs from just the whole food plant-based diet, where there's not as much consideration about cooked food. But I think there isn't anybody who's really looking toward good health that wants to overcook their food, because we know overcooking definitely kills the nutrients. Even the physical nutrients, the antioxidants, the vitamins, those things are impacted by heat. So that's kind of the background to the difference between raw and cooked food.
So we get a big supply of those enzymes that the body stops making when we eat more raw, according to the raw
Yeah,
food
that's the only place you can get them after you stop making them.
right. So one thing Brian said that I thought was good is you can start with creating a 50% raw meal plan each day. And that's really simple to do. And I looked at what we eat, and we do that. If I have a smoothie for breakfast, and then I usually eat a walnut and a Brazil nut or 3 hazelnuts. And for dinner, I always have a great big salad, and so does Bill, with all kinds of veggies on it. And often it does have cooked beans or cooked grain, but it's predominantly raw. And then sometimes at lunch, we'll have a few raw vegetables as well as many cooked ones, and a lot of steamed greens and cabbage. Like today, we're having green cabbage, kale, and string beans, and black lentils with red pepper in it, tomatoes, jalapeno over potato. So that's a lot of veggies, which are very tasty, but not a lot of raw in that meal. So 50% raw if you do your dinner or your lunch as a huge salad. And you have raw for breakfast with a smoothie, or you could do overnight oats, can even be raw. That's another raw. When we buy these sprouted oats from Costco, they're heated, but at a very low temp, can be considered raw. And I'll put on lots of blueberries and a tablespoon of hemp hearts. Great breakfast. And that would be considered raw.
Yeah, I don't do smoothies very often, but my breakfast is pretty much raw too. Might have a quarter or a third of a cup of oats or granola, but the bulk of it is raw fruit. And I make a plant-based milk, which is all raw. It's got almonds or sunflower seeds. I've been opting for sunflower seeds for my nut milks lately. It's got some flax seeds in it, so those are raw. It's got a couple of dates in it, nuts raw. So it's interesting. My whole milk is raw.
It's raw.
My fruit is raw. I sprinkle a couple of pumpkin seeds on top. Those are raw. So I too have pretty much a raw breakfast, except for maybe a quarter or a third of a cup of grain that's been cooked either as granola or oat groats or something like that. And then the big salad for dinner. Yeah, it's interesting. I don't think about being a raw food person at all, but if I look at the diet, we're probably easy 50%.
Yeah,
What
raw.
we eat is raw.
Raw. So explore that and see what it gives you. I'm going to do even more raw and see what it gives me, energy and consciousness wise.
Yeah, there's no question in our mind that people that have had the greatest challenges, health challenges, and have shifted to whole food plant-based, but aren't seeing all the results they want in terms of recovery from cancer or like your fibroid tumor and that kind of thing. You tried so much, and we were eating, a clean macrobiotic diet, all organic. It's when you went to Optimum Health. So sometimes if our body is compromised, it needs more than just a stitch to fix the hole. That old saying, a stitch in time saves nine. If you're having a challenge with a health condition and whole food plant-based hasn't quite given you the results you want, you might consider going all raw for a period of time, because that kind of kickstarts the body. It's more extreme, but it's kind of like those 9 stitches that are needed to get the hole mended, and then you can function with less than that, because we did find that going 100% raw took a lot more time to
Yes,
do all
it
your
is
sprouting and your
time-consuming.
dehydrating and your
Yeah.
planning ahead. But boy, we haven't seen anything restore health as well as raw.
So Brian came out with a new book. I'm going to look on Amazon and see what he has as a cookbook, just to see if I can take it even further. We have a dehydrator, and that's an important part of the raw scene. So we'll enjoy exploring, and we'll keep you posted on what we learn. The recipe today has a lot of raw in it. It's a dill pasta salad, and it uses just 2 cups of pasta, small pasta, an apple, dill pickles, dill, fresh dill, red onion. What else? Oh, celery, a lot of celery in there. And the dressing is made from cannellini beans. It's really good. It's kind of akin to a potato salad taste, would you say?
Yeah, with the dill pickle in there, that's what it reminds me of, because my mother's potato salad always had pickle relish in it.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's really good.
it's really good.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us.
We'll see you next week.